What's going on, everybody? D Style here, just doing this impromptu video. I wanted to come on here, and I'm on X, aka Twitter. I still call it Twitter. It is what it is, and of course, I'm on YouTube, etc. Share on your social media platforms if you can. I appreciate it. Hit the like, all that good stuff. Thank you for being here. Um, I just want to give my thoughts on this Tyson Fury. Okay. Um, Look, I don't I don't know sometimes what people are thinking or assuming, but something else here. But I got wind today. And to hear Tyson Fury pulled out of the fight. They're gonna postpone it. He got cut in sparring. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you guys. I am a skeptic, so I question everything, right? Um, I question everything, right? And that's perfectly normal and healthy to do. You're supposed to do that with everything. You're supposed to question authority, not appeal to it. You're supposed to question it. You're supposed to question even the experts. Because if the experts have the answers, they're going to give you the answers, right? You're supposed to question circumstances. And as circumstances play out and they provide answers, then they'll provide answers. It's healthy to question things. That's perfectly fine to be skeptical. However, when you get your answers, once you become dismissive of the evidence, dismissive of the answer, at that point, you're not being a skeptic. At that point, you're being a conspiracy theorist. And look, I understand that not everyone's going to agree with me. There's already people in the chat calling him a fraud. I get it. And you have every right to your opinion on this channel. People have a right to express their opinion. It's all good with me. Shout out to the boxing kangaroo, Nando, Anthony Sanchez, Demetrio. How's it going? But what I want you guys to do is hear me out. I can't speak for YouTube, but on X, I sat back. I was at work anyway, so I couldn't be on Twitter anyway, right? At least I had work to do, right? But I still sat back nonetheless. And I watched and I watched and I watched, right? I was watching that little village down there, boxing Twitter, just mad. It's just they're just man, they're mad, they're angry. Perfectly fine. I'm upset that we're not going to get the undisputed fight for the heavyweight championship of the world as well. Right? I'm upset by it. Okay? I had questions at the very beginning, just like the rest, just like everybody else did. One of my first questions was, the fuck was Fury doing? Like, was he sparring without headgear? That would be very irresponsible of him. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't go on Twitter. I didn't go on social media, right? And say, "Oh, I bet you he didn't fucking wear his headgear." Yeah, totally. He wasn't doing the headgear thing on purpose. He didn't get cut, so he doesn't have to fight Usyk. Like I wasn't doing that, right? Okay. All right, cool. So, but I had questions about it. I'm like, well, I hope he wasn't sparring without headgear. That would be very irresponsible of Fury to do. Very close to the fight, especially such a big fight. Was he doing heavy sparring? What's going on? This is before I have limited information, just like the rest of you. And I wasn't giving the benefit of the doubt, Nando. What I was doing is not jumping to conclusions, right? We have to understand here. Not jumping to conclusions is not the same as giving someone the benefit of the doubt. I'm not saying that's what you're saying. I decided to use that line. Anyway, shout out to the GOAT Mario P. Hey, you guys have a right to believe what you want to believe, but you're still going to hear me out. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're still going to hear what I got to say. Um, But then footage came out, right? That he did have the headgear on. Well, there goes that. We can't say, oh, he was being irresponsible. He was out there sparring while at headgear to yada yada yada. So people dropped that immediately, right? And then it was, why is the footage um like such low quality, right? Man, these style that footage is low quality. It's not very good. I mean, dun, 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 it's a conspiracy. Why are they using low level, right? VHS, did they tape this with a VHS? Why is it so grainy? Why is it so low quality? Now, granted, I don't know what low quality has to do with um whether or not he got elbowed in the head, but it sounds good, right? It sounds good to say, oh look, they videotaped it with low quality. When it conspired this, it conspired to use a low quality camera. Like, okay, fine, right? Maybe the assertion is the quality is so bad that you can't really make out what happened. In the age of HD, why did they use that? I don't know if it occurred to you. Um, they're zooming in the existing footage. The camera isn't zooming in. If the camera was zooming in, I don't care if you have an iPhone, I don't care if you have Android, the quality is going to be a lot better. But they took a footage that was filming from a distance, okay? And then they zoomed it in, right? Right now, if I move forward to my camera, you could see me just like this, okay? But if I stay right here and you take a screenshot and then you zoom it in to be just as close as I was in a moment, it's going to look grainy because the pixels, okay, the smaller pixels here are now going to become larger as you zoom in, all right? Because you're zooming in a picture frame, right? Or a video frame that already exists. It's not the camera adjusting to, okay, and zooming in closer, therefore adjusting the pixel. It's very important to understand this. That's why it looks in such cheap quality. All right. I'm just saying. I just want to put that out there. All right. So that explains why the video quality isn't that good. Okay. Why is it in such cheap quality? I just answered your question. Now, if you're interested in answers, I just gave you one. You don't have to accept it, but it's one, right? Jesus Sam, how's it going? Dr. Paul, how's it going? Jesus Sam, Chicano Prophet in the building. How you guys doing? Oh, feel free to not agree with me. No one's going to censor you here. Give your thoughts. But like I said, I'm going to give mine. All right. Like it's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So that answers the video footage thing. We know he wasn't sparring without headgear, right? We know that the previous another thing people were saying, and I wondered this, right? I was like, well, man, maybe he wants to get out of the fight because I don't know if he had enough time to get in great shape. Maybe he wasn't in good shape. Maybe he wants more time to prepare for Usyk. These were like private assumptions I was making, but not jumping to conclusions. Just things I was wondering. But I wait for the evidence to come out. I don't jump to conclusions. So I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And then guess what? He releases a photo where he's flexing and Fury looks. Look, I'm not saying he looks like Anthony Joshua or Ngannou or anything, but physique wise, but for Fury, he looks in pretty good shape. He looks in some of the best shape he's looked in a long time. So now all the people saying, oh, he wasn't in great shape, that's why he wanted to pull out. They see it, they see the picture, and they're saying things like, oh, that's an old picture. Well, the iPhone he's holding is not from all those years ago that you're saying. That's number one. Okay. Second, they're also saying, oh, he got in great shape so he could sell the fact that he was ready to go, right? And people could believe the cut. What? That's a lot of work, bro, to pull out of a. I'm sorry. That's like a lot of shit. I'm just saying. All right. I'm just saying, I don't believe it. People all, and then it was people saying, "What have they shown us a picture of the cut? Where's the cut? I don't see a cut." They released a picture of the cut. Wow, he bladed himself. Some people said, "You really believe Tyson Fury or somebody grabbed a razor blade, right, and right here, right, right here, and they put a sharp blade right there, and like, do you like, oh, do you really believe that? Like that deep? Like you believe that? You actually like? Do you really believe, right, that he went up there and went? Do you really believe that? Now people are saying it was Photoshop. Have you proved that it's Photoshopped? If you have the right equipment, you could zoom in enough and see if the pixels match to see if it's Photoshopped or not. Right? So what I'm saying is, it takes too much work. Why would they make up a deep cut? Like, why would they make it up? And why would it be the same exact cut he had in the Otto Wallen fight? Why would they Photoshop that? For what? What do they say now? What if a whistleblower films them without the cut and they put it out there? You know how embarrassing that would be? Do you really believe he Photoshopped? Like, I'm asking you guys if you believe. Don't tell me, oh, anything's possible, anything could be, anything that, and yeah, a lot of things could happen. You could walk outside and a toilet could fall on your head. Okay, a lot of things could happen, right? You can go out for a run, you could trip and fall, and then you twist your ankle, it's broken, and then a coyote shows up out of nowhere, then it eats you. Like anything could happen in life. I'm asking if you actually believe, you would have put money on it. Do you actually believe that they photoshopped the cut? Do you believe that he bladed himself with a razor blade? If you're in that camp, do you really believe that? Is all I'm asking. That's all I want to know. Do you believe that they're faking the cut? Do you believe that Saudi Arabia is going to spend all this money, Turkey al Sheikh's going to spend all this money, and just take Tyson Fury's word for it? Do you believe that? You don't think they're going to ask for proof? You think Turkey's just going to say, all right, it's all good. No problem. No, we believe you. Don't worry about it. Do you really believe that? How do we know there isn't footage of him getting stitched up? How do you know? How do you know pictures of him being stitched up ain't going to come out soon? How do you know? I didn't know. I didn't know that when a fighter gets a cut, okay, that they have to do a live vlog and show everybody, okay, all the way the trip to the hospital, going to the hospital, getting stitched up and everything. I didn't know that was a require. I didn't know that. Whether they do or not, I have no idea. I just didn't know that was a thing, right? But what I do know is that the Saudis have spent multi-millions of dollars for this event. They're not just going to take Tyson Fury's word for it, okay? It's just not going to happen. You think you have a vested interest as a boxing fan because you want to see Undisputed because some of you don't like Tyson Fury. I don't like Tyson Fury either, quite frankly. I think Fury's annoying as fuck. I think a lot of things people are saying about Fury are correct. They just don't apply to this specific situation. But you think you're invested. No. Turkey al Sheikh, His Excellency is invested. And best believe they will ask for receipts that are more impressive than a live vlog, okay, on Twitter, okay? which too many wouldn't believe it anyway. They would say, "Oh, how convenient that they did a vlog so they could prove to us that he stitched himself up. He definitely planned this shit the whole time." People would find something to say anyway. There's footage of it. Oh, what a coincidence that they were filming the sparring. It's not that uncommon to film sparring with a phone. It just isn't. You know what they don't have at gyms? Okay, they don't have TV cameras with with great production value in a gym. Okay, I don't know what type of quality you guys want. You know what would have been suspicious if when they were filming it, they zoomed in the moment he got hit with the elbow. So it could be in good quality for you. Fighters have sent me sparring footage in confidence, right? That they film all the time. They film it all the time so they could review things and look at them. To look at patterns, you don't need it to be an ultra 4K HD. You don't need, okay, in that case, they would add like a professional cameraman in there. It just isn't necessary. They were filming it with a camera. Okay, the distance that they caught it in. Okay, you have to zoom in on the existing footage. That's why it's grainy and why it looks in poor quality. It's not that hard to explain. So all you got to do is use Occam's razor. That's all you got to do, guys. The simplest explanation. What's more believable to believe? He was sparring. He got elbowed and unfortunately got cut, right? We had scar tissue from the Otto Wallen fight. And unfortunately, they had to postpone the fight. Or, oh, yeah, he definitely wanted to pull out of this fight, so he conspired to get out of it. And the best idea they came up with was to film something on purpose in very low quality because that's going to make it look very sus, right? And then blade himself to and put some footage where it makes it look like he got elbowed, but he really didn't get elbowed, right? Just because he's scared of Usyk, doesn't want to fight Usyk, okay? And he got himself in great shape, better shape for his actual fights, right? Because he really wanted to sell to people that he was ready for the fight, but unfortunately he got cut, and now he has to postpone the fight. Do you, like, what sounds more believable? What sounds more believable? And I'm glad you brought that up, Chicano. The last time he pulled out of a fight, there's a very simple explanation to it. Very simple. The simple explanation is he tested positive. You had a positive test. So he pulled out of the fight because he was going to be suspended anyway. That's why he pulled out. He came back when the UCAT suspension was done. He came back. What a coincidence. There's a very simple, there isn't this huge grand conspiracy theory as well why he pulled out. When you have to come up with, oh yeah, oh how convenient, that happened because of this, and oh well, that happened because of that, and like just think about it. I want to take you through. I'm not going to name the person, but on Twitter they were saying he was probably out of shape and he was probably doing it without headgear on, right? Which a lot of people thought. Well, it turns out he had headgear on. It turned out he was in good shape. So now they can't use that. So now they flip it and they say, oh, what a coincidence that he had the headgear, to really sell that it was an unfortunate cut. But we all know what happens without headgear. But now with the headgear, it happened. So they could try to make it seem like, oh, my God, it was an accident. Oh, and then he got in shape so he could really sell it. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Like, I'm sorry. That's too many fucking layers, right? Your original assumption was completely wrong, and now you're assuming other things as long as it's leading you to your conclusion. Your conclusion being that Tyson Fury wanted to pull out of this fight because he's scared of Alexander Usyk. He's just trembling. His knees are just trembling at the thought. He's having nightmares at night because he's about to fight Alexander Usyk. I could come up with 1,000 reasons, and even if that were true, 1,000 ways he could have pulled out of this fight. He could have said he fell down and his lower back is hurting, okay? And they got to postpone the fight. He could have said he had a bruised rib. He could have said his fucking hand is bruised and fucked up. There's a million things he could have done. then blade his fucking eye. Or Photoshop the picture, which experts could prove that it's a Photoshop picture. You could prove something is Photoshop, guys. Like it's not that hard to do, actually. So to say, oh, it's definitely Photoshopped, the Saudis are going to find out if it's Photoshopped. And they'll sue the fuck out of Fury. They're not playing games here. Do you think the Saudis are to fuck with? You really believe they're going to let this dude Photoshop a picture and just get away with it? Or have it not be real? Like, can you possibly believe that? Can you? You guys were changing the conspiracy in real time. That's how you know it's stupid. The conspiracy was changing as the evidence changed. The original conspiracy was, oh, he's probably out of shape. He never had any intention of fighting Usyk, and it was sparring without headgear and got cut. Yeah, irresponsible Fury. He just wanted to pull out of the fight. That changed immediately. Once the footage came out with the headgear, that changed, right? Well, once the picture came out that he's in pretty good shape, your whole original conspiracy theory, it went down the fucking drain. Got flushed down the toilet just like my shit got flushed down the toilet. That's where it belongs, by the way. In a toilet, getting flushed. And as more stuff comes up, oh, how could it be? Oh, okay, he's in shape. He's never in shape, but this time he got in shape. How convenient. You guys were going to say that regardless. If there was no footage, oh, what a coincidence. Really? In the age of the smartphone? Nobody could even film it with a cheap-ass smartphone? Oh, what a coincidence that there's no footage of this. But since there's footage of it, oh, what a coincidence that they happened to film it when it happened. Like, you could say that about anything. You're changing your conspiracy theory as you move on. Because it's your conclusion. That's what it is. A lot of you are already convinced he's scared of Usyk, doesn't want to fight Usyk, wanted to pull out of the fight. Right? You're already convinced of that. So no matter what questions you ask, if you get the answer you're looking for, I know what you're going to do. Just like, oh, I bet you didn't have headgear on. Then you see him with headgear on. Oh, I bet you he was out of shape. And then you see him in shape. Oh, I bet you he only got in shape because he wanted to really sell the fact that so that way they can't say he knew. Oh, you know what? It was reverse psychology. He knew we were going to call him out for being out of shape. So he got in shape. So that way we don't get to use that argument. But we're on you, Fury. Are you serious? Like, I mean, seriously. I saw a dude saying, oh, well, I wouldn't put it past him if he bladed himself. I wouldn't put it like, seriously, bro. Some of you think like Fury's this grand mastermind playing four-dimensional chess, right? And he pulled off some like James Bond movie level conspiracy to pull out of a fucking boxing match. There's a million ways to pull out of a boxing match that doesn't require you cutting yourself. Okay? It's just insane, bro. Well, I know you're not saying it's not real, but some people are saying it's not real. So I'm talking to different people here. So, like, this is like Glovegate. Like, so remember Glovegate when the Wilder fans were like, well, he's cheated before the bar meet. So therefore he put fucking egg weights in his glove. Right? No, he didn't put egg weights. He took out the padding. It was bare knuckle. So did he load up? Did he load it with an egg weight, or did he have no? Was it knuckles? What's going on over here? And just like Glovegate, when the evidence, like when the light and new evidence came out, right at first, oh, it was the left. The left did it. He was hitting with these knuckles right here. And they thought you could see tape right here, by the way. Like, shit was stupid. Like, right, they thought you could see like the tape going here. even though there's like a bulge right here with the wrapping. But anyway, people were changing like the story, and then no, you know what? It was a right hand because you could see his knuckles through the glove, and then like you show them. Well, when he takes out the gloves, the wrapping is covering the knuckles. You know how it is with those gypsies. They'll figure out how to do it. He's done it before. He'll do it again, just in a different way. We've gone from glove gate to blade gate. It's just crazy, bro. So which one of you guys are right? The one saying he bladed himself, the one saying that it's a Photoshop picture, or is it the ones that are saying I believe it, but I think he kind of planned it some type of way? Who's right? Because the official story, there's not different versions of it. It's pretty straightforward. He was sparring. He was accidentally elbowed right on the money. He was unfortunately cut, and unfortunately got to postpone the fight. That story stays on point. Nothing changes about that story. The conspiracy theory has been changing in real time from the very beginning. We've gone from Blade Gate, Photoshop Gate. I don't even know what to believe at this point. It's just crazy, bro. I don't know which conspiracy theory to debate here. Like I don't. I have no idea. I get that. Yes, he pulled out of the Klitschko fight, which has a very simple explanation. There wasn't all these shenanigans and this whole conspiracy around it. He pulled out. We knew there was a positive test by UCAD. He came back when that suspension ended. Pretty straightforward, direct. You know, of course he lied and he said he was depressed and all that shit too, so he could garner sympathy, right? Because just tested positive for UCAD, right? We know that, but it's not that hard to believe. You're like it's like very simple, straightforward. You could use Occam's razor and it applies, guys. Nobody's saying that a series of unlikely events can't happen. Nobody's saying that it's 100% impossible that he could have planned all this. What I'm saying is if this was the plan, even if he succeeded, it's a very stupid plan. Oh, let's cancel this multi-million-dollar fight that the Saudis are heavily invested in. The Saudis, some of the most powerful people in the world. These motherfuckers bomb countries and shit, okay? They've been linked to like terrorist organizations. Now, let me get an I'm just saying, you probably don't want to fuck with these people, all right? And their money and their time. And the best you can come up with is, oh yeah, we're gonna pull out. We're gonna say we're gonna film it, right? And try to make it look like I was cut. And then we're going to put out a Photoshop picture. That's totally going to fool the Saudi Arabian government. Like they're totally going to fall for that one. Teenagers in the garage can find out if something's photoshopped or not, right? D-style boxing, okay, at his job could tell if something's photoshopped or not, or AI'd or not, right? But the Saudi Arabian government, they're possibly, we're going to fool the shit out of them. That's their grand master plan. It takes the genius of cutting yourself perfectly, right? If you're blading yourself, you're going to put a sharp object in one of the most vulnerable parts of your skin, right? That deep, by the way. Do you not know how insane that sounds? That sounds insane. I'm sorry. When I first heard it, it was crazy. Oh, wrestlers do it. Wrestlers do a little slit up here. What are you talking about? They don't go deep. They don't do it here. Like, what are we talking about? All right, my repeat, it's Photoshop. Okay. It's Photoshop. All right. Now, I'll be honest with you, Mark. I haven't like looked at it and like none of that, but you're saying it's Photoshop. Okay. So is Turki Al-Sheikh in on it too? Because I saw some other people, because Turki Al-Sheikh wanted to postpone it because it's not selling that well. So he instructed Fury to do it. It's just crazy, bro. The shit people will say. I want the fight too, Boxing Kangaroo. They're going to postpone the card. Does that mean we're not going to get Bradis Jayo Pataya too? I'm fucking pissed that we're not going to get that fight. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Jai's getting screwed over again for something he didn't even do. It is what it is, right? Bro, they could have said he was concussed by Jai, so they have to postpone the fight. They could have said there's a million things they could have done to postpone this fight. This is the grand master plan. Let's Photoshop a picture. That's the grand master plan. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? That's all right. If that's what you're going to put your money on, right? I think the Blade people and the Photoshop people, y'all got some. Y'all got to get your conspiracy theory in order, like just like the Glovegate guys. Get in order. I need like a give me the official conspiracy, right? So we could kind of dissect it because we're going all over the place. Some people are saying it's Photoshop. Some people are saying he bladed himself. He bladed himself. This is crazy, bro. He put a sharp object like right here. Like, are you shitting me, bro? Could probably go blind doing shit like that, bro. You could hit a nerve with a razor object. Like, are you serious? For the people that believe that, or maybe he just did it enough, like the wrestlers, and then and sparring, he hit him, so then he could cut him deeper. And like that's do you not understand that? Well, that's not impossible, right? Do you not understand that if you apply Occam's razor, that's not even in the top 5 most likely scenarios of what could have happened? I mean, I'm just saying. Right? If you have a sister, right? And you go visit her, and she has 2 black eyes right here. Oh, what happened? Did he fucking hit you? No. He didn't hit me. I was. You're not gonna believe this, but I was walking down the stairs and I fell and I hit myself on this side. And when I tried to get back up, I fell again and hit myself on this side. And now is that possible? Is it possible your sister fell down the stairs and hit herself twice? And is that possible? Sure, right? But if there's footage of him hitting her, right? You know, like if you look at the security footage, and even if the footage isn't in great quality, HD quality, and you see her like cowering, he's like, motherfucking bitch, right? And you have the footage, like you're not gonna say, oh yeah, totally, you fell down the stairs, and no, you're probably gonna believe what your lying eyes tell you, right? He used a razor blade to Photoshop his eye. Look, man, I gotta be honest with you, guys. I understand Fury. Like I was dealing with the same thing with Glovegate, right? I would be like, "Do you really believe that he did that? Well, he's done it before. He had that one glove in that one fight, and it was like wobbly. And there was that one fight the ref had to replace his glove, so he did it before. So I gotta believe he did it. I gotta look at his reputation, and I believe he did it. Don't forget the boar meat. Don't forget this. Don't forget that. Right? Well, you guys are to a certain degree are doing the same thing here. You're saying, well, he has a history. He pulled out of the Vladimir Klitschko fight. He didn't do the rematch with Wilder right away. He went to ESPN, so he's been guilty of doing the shit before. And he was saying he didn't want to fight Usyk at the time, and then now that he's going to fight him, and then now this happened. Like, look, all that's irrelevant. Just look at everything for face value. What story do you believe? Do you believe the conspiracy that Tyson Fury is scared, right? So he conspired to pull out of this fight. And the best thing he could come up with is a doctored video and a Photoshop picture of a cut. Or he bladed himself in the eye, right? Or he was sparring and got accidentally elbowed in the eye. Which is more believable? Not which one you want to believe. What's more plausible, guys? That's all I'm asking. You may say the other one's more plausible if you want. That I think you're crazy, but that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. But what's more plausible is all. That's all I'm asking. So like it's as simple as that. Which requires the least amount of assumptions here. If your story in a conspiracy has changed in real time in less than 24 hours, then that conspiracy is probably trash. It was a series of hypotheses, okay, that went nowhere. All right? Don't ask, where's the cut? And when they show you the cut, you're just not going to believe it. Don't ask for things. Like I said at the very beginning, nothing wrong with being a skeptic and asking questions. But when you get the answer, and it's a reasonable answer, right? You don't have to necessarily believe it, but to just dismiss it automatically is crazy to me, right? Especially when that's your knee-jerk reaction. That's just my opinion. I'll leave you guys with that. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Give me your thoughts and all that good stuff. Yes, I did hear the news of Carl Weathers, a.k.a. Apollo Creed, passed away. Rest in peace to him. My thoughts are with the family, man. I think he was a perfect Apollo Creed. The guy's is awesome. Kazuki Anaguchi also passed away. I received the devastating news. He went to the emergency room after his fight, and he never woke up. So unfortunately, he's no longer with us. And it's a stark reminder of this sport and what comes with the sport and the tragedies of the sport. Unfortunately, this is the sport we're watching. It's a guilty pleasure we have. We all understand the risk that come with it, right? And unfortunately, these things could happen. And it's those fights where they're just competitive, and the ref doesn't really have a reason to go in and stop it. They're in the fight, but they're taking a beating. And a lot of those times, like tragic things happen in those situations. No one's really to blame. It's just the harsh reality of the sport we're watching. A stark reminder that we don't play boxing, and a stark reminder why I don't. And look, I'm not a guy that likes to get preachy or nothing, but this is a very serious thing that happened. This is why I don't call fighters bums. This is why I don't go out of my way to just disrespect fighters. I'm not perfect. Maybe I do it here and there, but I'm only human. I'm trying to improve every day, but I could only speak for myself. That's a decision. I want to better myself. And one thing is, I don't like using that language. I don't like calling fighters bums. I don't like mocking fighters. I don't like any of that. And rest in peace, man. I think this is some very, very sad news. And I don't know what else to say. It's a stark reminder of how serious this sport is. With that said, guys, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Agree or disagree, it's all good. And see you till next time. Peace.